Hello, I'm your Kingdom Spiritual Transformational and Life Purpose Life Coach and Mentor, Latricia Booker, here with Kingdom Business, where we are empowered. When we heal, we get delivered and we get free. We know who we are. We elevate our minds and our spirits and raise and expand our consciousness to ultimately walk in our true divine purpose and power, and that is the truth of who God has created us to be. Kingdom people, we are. We are history makers. We are real changers. We are dream successors. We are wealth generators. We are manifestors. We are curse breakers. And we most definitely are transformers. More than meets the eye. Yeah, Kingdom people, we are. Kingdom people, thank you all so very much for viewing my videos. Thank you for all the likes, subscribes, for all your shares. Thank you for all your comments and feedback. Thank you for all the financial contributions to my channel and for all the seeds that you so generously sow into me and my ministry. Kingdom people, thank you for all of your purchases. Thank you for everything that you do here on Kingdom Business. Kingdom people, thank you. So Kingdom people, I am on location and you already know what I'm here to do. And if you don't know, then now you know. I am here to drop this, beat this, word this message. Yeah. Kingdom people, I am the chain breaker and you are chain breakers too, Kingdom people. Are y'all ready to break these chains? Let's go. Kingdom people, listen up. Put on your listening ears. Get out of the way. Get out of the way. So, last week, God was literally speaking this to me to get out of the way. God was showing me how he's moving me around certain people, certain situations, even have caused me to relocate. And this is something that God has done over and over and over in my life. Even removing me from relationships. And in the whole thing, he would say, sometimes it's like you have to get out because of what is coming to these people for whatever reason. He wants you out of the way. Last week, I literally was talking to someone. I was speaking to someone that was in a situation and they were sharing what was going on with me, where they live. And as they were talking to me and sharing, I kind of told them, I just kind of mentioned, what I'm getting is that you need to go. You need to get out. And they said, I know. But it was just a thing of when everything was going on. Just, how when sometimes when everything going on, this can be frustrating and stressful. And when it's like something that's happening like this, it's happening so fast. And then you got to have to figure out, what you're going to do because it's not a part of your plan. And, especially when you're in a lease or something like that and your lease is not up, but you have to go. So you have to break the lease, buy out the lease. And if you have a roommate, or something like that, whatever the situation can be. But in this case, it was something like that where they had to go. And as I'm listening to what they were saying, all I kept picking up on, the person that was being combative and torturous and just was trying to give this person a problem, I just kept hearing they're demonic. And it was very obvious just by what was being explained. And so, Kingdom people, it was just on my spirit so strong to tell this person, you need to get out. That's what I'm hearing God say. You need to get out. Again, they were already like, I know that. They were just frustrated and venting and sharing what was going on. And then God said to me, they need to get out because it's about to go down. That person who was just coming at this person, just giving them a hard time for no reason. Well, it's a reason. It's a reason. But the point is when the devil was just coming at you and coming at you and coming at you and you just handling your business, minding your business, this person just is a productive person doing their best to be their best, was even kind to this person, helping this person out a lot. And, sometimes, I didn't even mean to go here, but what God even gave me about that situation is that this person was just being too kind to this person. Sometimes people take your kindness and they get mad about it. Some people hate you for your kindness and hate you for what it is you have going on, and just being a good person, just wanting to be positive. People will hate you for who and what you are, even while you're helping them. Sometimes you could be helping people and they be sometimes mad at you that you're even in a position to do that for them. And so they will, that demon or them demons in them, they'll get going. So I was telling this person how, God is saying get out. But God was even saying how when those kind of things happen, God is always moving you into a better position, better place. Even if because sometimes, kingdom people, we experience similar things. But again, once we leave that place, but it's because of who we are. But not saying that that's going to happen here. But the point is, kingdom people, let me stay focused, is that God started telling me that they need to get out, because that person that was causing all this trouble was getting ready to reap some what they were sowing, because it was so uncool, and they put this person in a position to have to do some things. And I know a lot about it, having to put you in a position where now you got to do this and do some things. And even though you're going to do what's necessary to get out of the situation, the fact that a person is even putting you in this position, causing you this inconvenience because they want to be all crazy, God say they getting ready to get it. And so God needs you to get out. God is saying, get out of the way. And that's what God was telling me to tell this person. Because the person that was giving them a hard time, God said that he finna take care of them. So I'm saying all that to say that was last week. God was already giving me this message. So today he brought it back to my attention. And what happened was, he had been bringing up to me over the last few days or so, but this morning it was just like thick, a person that I used to talk to. And this was a person that, how can I say, God would use me to encourage them and to lift them up. And I was in a place where I was doing what God had me doing where this person was concerned. But in the midst of doing all of that, I would notice certain things, like they would be trying to put themselves on me. I even remember, having a conversation with this person, and they were sharing with me a conversation they were having with someone else. And they said something like they realized that this person just didn't want to be responsible for them. And I thought it was weird, because this is a grown person who's married and has children. And she was saying that someone else was trying not to be responsible for them. I didn't say this to them, but I'm like, it was just on my spirit after that conversation, that, no one is responsible for anyone as an adult. And even being married, if you have a husband or a wife, your husband or your wife is not responsible for you, but they have a responsibility to you as your husband or as your wife. But you are responsible for yourself. And so, as I said, I had been experiencing things where I can feel this person trying to push themselves on me and just trying to get me even to be responsible for them. And as I said, God had me in a place where I was doing things for them. But as time went on, this person started doing these weird things. Like, they were just doing things that were very obvious that, I'm going to put it like this. They were feeling some kind of way about how God was moving me around in my life. And God even had me say some things and share some things, not just with this person, but I've experienced this in a few situations, so that people can show themselves. Now, I'm not knowing why God having me say these things or share certain things, but sometimes God will have you share some things so people can show you something. So usually it's a thing where they're jealous, and that starts to come out. It starts to leak out. Now, this person is someone I had to move around, because, as I said, it was some things started going on. It was like, before this even go too far, I'm just ready to move out the way. This same person that I'm speaking of previously, a few years ago or so, quite some years ago, I had to remove myself from this person for something they said that was so disrespectful and out of line. And it was designed to make, to try to shoot me down. You know how you say something to cut somebody down and to try to make them feel a certain way. And then what they said to me though was weird, because what they were trying to come against or tear down was actually a good thing. But this person didn't get that. And I recognize that. But it was a thing where their ego, and that's something else that God been speaking to me about. Ego. People be so full of ego. And so that's what I noticed with this person. I said, okay, they're in their ego. So their ego is taking over. And so I had to fall back from this person. So later, a few years down the line, we kind of spoke again. And I brought this up to them about, what was said back then. And this person said, I said that. So this person, either they didn't remember what they said, or, I'm going to say it like this. When you're in a moment, when your ego is taking over and them demons have taken over and you letting them just make you act all kinds of fools, I guess sometimes you don't remember what you did, and or you don't care in the moment because you're in your ego. So anyhow, I had to pull back then. And like I said, as of recent, not very recent, but not long ago, I had to do the same thing again for the same exact reason, except for a little more was shown. God was saying to me, get out of the way. Get out of the way. And this is a person that God has been showing me as of recent, that they're feeling a certain kind of a way. They're going through their own things in life, but that's life. But they're looking at me in a certain kind of way. And kingdom people are looking at you in a certain kind of way, trying to understand why you and how you doing this and this, that, and the other. And that maybe if you've pulled yourself away, they're kind of blaming you for the situation that they're in, which really has nothing to do with you. What am I saying here, kingdom people? In this kind of a case, this is a person that don't want to take responsibility for themselves. They don't want to take responsibility for themselves. Married and all, children and all. And running to other people, whining and victimizing themselves about whatever they're going through and whatever. And I want to say whatever you've done to them, but all you've done is removed yourself. But these are people who are playing the victim. These are people that need to grow up. They need to grow up. Even in those kind of cases, kingdom people, God is saying, get out of the way. Sometimes you have to get out of the way of people that won't grow up. Now, mind you, in this situation, I've already done that. But this person is still, I don't know what transpired in their life, what's going on, but it has been revealed to me that they're looking at me, watching me, and feeling a certain kind of way. What God told me as clear as day is they like, why you? Why her? Why her? Now, I'm going to say this. Number one, kingdom people need to, again, take responsibility for themselves. Life happens. In life, kingdom people, we go through things. But what we don't do is victimize ourselves. We don't throw pity parties. We do what we need to do, and we're definitely not being hating on nobody and jealous of nobody. And if you have victimized yourself and had pity parties, kingdom people, you don't stay there. And or you had your moment, you realize that this is what isn't what it is, and you got up out of there. You got up out of that pity party. You got up out of that victim mentality. And if you haven't, get up out of there. Get up out of there. Because you cannot, or you should not, or it's ludicrous to have pity parties because life is happening, to victimize yourself because life is happening. Watch somebody else who pull up they big girl draws or they big boy super rules, whatever, your boxes, whatever, and handle business. Take responsibility for yourself, in other words. Kingdom people, why you? Because you take responsibility for yourself. You are obedient to God. You step out and do what God is telling you to do. You ain't running up to people, and I'm not knocking talking to people and getting sound advice, or even, having people that you can talk to. But when you're dependent on that, that's a problem. Let me tell you, when God was saying all this to me earlier today, what he was saying, when he was sharing with me how this person goes to other people about one, and I know it, and I'm not knocking, again, when you're going through. That's not what I'm saying here. But when, like I said, when you're constantly, that's what you're doing, and then on top of that, you're doing that because you're feeling a certain kind of way towards somebody that you've mishandled that is now gone. And I heard God say too, but they acting like they don't know why you removed yourself. Here's the thing, kingdom people, whether they know or not, because man, I said before, last time, when I brought it up from the last time, they said, I said that. People, again, do things in the moment, or that thing be influencing them, or they be in their ego, acting a fool. They're not thinking about the outcome. So when you walk away, they make you wrong because they feel open and vulnerable, and they feel like you've done something to them. I think I've already said that, but I don't know. It just came out again. What am I getting to here, kingdom people? Sometimes you have to get out of the way so people can grow up, or so God can just deal with them. Sometimes people are too clingy. They are too dependent on others. And like I said, this person in particular is going to other people or whoever they go to and doing. And it's like, where are you going with that? I can tell you, nowhere. And then on top of that, looking at the kingdom people saying, well, why them? Like I said, kingdom people handling their business. We might cry, we might go through our thing or whatever, but this is where I was going. But I told God, when he was showing me this person whining and crying and going through, talking about why you, I said this to God: I will look unto the hills from whence my help cometh from. That's why I don't run to people. And again, it doesn't mean that I haven't had people that I can talk to, that I can express myself with, and I can vent to. But I'm not dependent on people. Kingdom people, you're not dependent on people. And if you ever were, again, you either get up out of that or you getting up out of that. And you're looking unto the hills from which your help coming from. So sometimes, kingdom people need to learn to not run to people, and they need to run to God. And not just run to God, but go to God and let him clear that stuff up out of you. Because you can't run to God and say, help me God, and at the same time be like, why her? Why him? And being hateful and jealous. It's called being responsible. It's called taking this thing by the throat and handling your business, doing what you have to do for you. And what also came out in this whole thing with this person is this. I said, God keeps showing me that this person is weak. No shade to this person. This person is very intelligent, but that's an exterior thing. Not saying that they're not really intelligent, but it's like it has to go deeper than that. And to present yourself as intelligent and like to talk and give a good game, not saying that it's not real, but it's more than that. It goes deeper than that. You got to let God get on the inside and work this thing out in you. And what I'm saying is, when you're not doing that, you can become weak. Doesn't mean that you cannot be strong at some point. But what I told God is this, or maybe he told me first. When they start rising up and moving in their things on their own and stop being dependent on these people, just like I did, I said, or maybe God said it to me, they're going to start doing the same thing to you. Because that's what happens, kingdom people. Sometimes the very people you're going to are the very people that's going to start mishandling you when you're starting to rise up and become independent and moving into things of God, becoming God dependent, should I say. But it looks like independence to them because it's independent away from them. But it's what God moves you to do. Yes, they'll be there to comfort you in those moments while you're there, but they don't want to see you rise higher. Like I said, Take responsibility for yourself. Rise on up out of that victim mentality and that self-pity and that trying to put yourself on other people to be responsible for you. Get your strength from God. Rise higher in Him. And watch they start tripping on you too. Anyway, look at that. Those birds just flew away. Right when I was saying that. Because when you do what God is telling you to do, when you are obedient to God, it'll cause you to start to fly away. It'll start causing you to fly away. You leave things behind that no longer serves you. And those things that you leave behind, those people that you leave behind, very well may feel like you've done something to them. And what have you done to them, kingdom people? You left them behind because you have somewhere to go. You have to move into the things of God. These people are not doing that. Not saying that they can't, but we're not going to go too deep into that. What I'm saying here, kingdom people, is sometimes you have to get out of the way so God can either deal with them so that they can grow up and or so they can get what's coming to them. This is another thing that came up today. Talking to another person, talking about their little situation and how they're not a fan of the corporate world. And I told this person, I said, I knew you was going to come to that because I listened to the things that you have said before. And I knew you were going to be someone who would want to own your own businesses, which they had done previously. And they're talking now like I need to go back to a certain thing and revisit that and do certain things because kingdom people. Listen, sometimes God will tell you to move your job, leave your job. He'll tell you to leave the corporate world. Why? It's too much going on out here in these streets, in these corporate worlds. I was talking to this person, and as he was trying to explain, he said, it's not the structure that I have a problem with. And I said, what you have a problem with is all these egos up in here wanting to be like, I'm in charge. I'm your boss. I'm an authority. And these people, anyway, kingdom people, you get what I'm saying. And that can get to be draining, and or kingdom people can get to a place they don't want to be in that mess. And guess what? They ain't supposed to be. Not saying you wasn't supposed to pass through there and learn some things. And kingdom people, I'm not knocking no job. Do what you have to do. But what I am saying is God will start to show you and let you know, or you would just start to see all the same thing really, that you don't belong there, or you don't belong there any longer. Because listen, kingdom people are owners. They own. If you are a kingdom people, God is getting ready to use you to literally build the kingdom. And He uses you to build the kingdom, not from working for someone else. And I'm not saying, now listen, there are exceptions. Okay, let's be real clear. Let the Holy Spirit lead you in this. But it's very common for kingdom people to be either pushed out of this corporate world and or just never could even do it. Also, even if you are in a corporate world, if God uses you in that manner, He will use you to be the head. You will either be the owner of that corporate world or that corporate company or organization, or you will have a head position. Even if you don't, you will still be the one with the authority if that's where He has you. But my point is, many a times God will push you up out of there. He'll be telling you to get out of the way. For one, because He has something better for you. For two, guess what, kingdom people? Sometimes God be getting ready to deal with these places. Some of you know what I'm talking about, because as soon as you left, everything fell apart. Things went down. Some of these companies went down. And it happens just in general, not just with companies. But I'm making a point to say, even in the corporate world, even in jobs and these workplaces, God will tell you to get out when you done seen enough, had enough, and or they literally pushing you out because you just can't even take it no more what they're doing. Kingdom people, God will move you to get out of the way. He will tell you to get out. And in some instances, He's saying get out because He either again need to deal with some folks. Some folks need to grow up, and or listen, I almost don't want to say nothing. But some people getting ready to go down because they have been doing evil and evil over and over and over and over and over and over again. It's not a thing when you in error, because God knows we have error. But it's a thing when you keep going, and especially when you mishandling people, you mistreating people, you're throwing your authority or whatever power around and want to abuse people, mistreat people, be evil, be jealous, be wicked, try to stop them, block them, all that stuff. After so long, God will say, enough of that. Again, he knows that we're going to have things that we need to clean up, but he's there to help us do it. He even say, if my people, he called them my people, if my people who are called by my name will pray, humble themselves, kingdom people, seek my face, listen, and turn from their wicked ways, then will I hear from heaven, and I can heal their land. But kingdom people, when they keep going in their wicked ways, but they won't humble themselves, seek God's face and pray, how he gonna heal their land? So when they won't make that turnaround, it is in destruction. So God wants you to get out of the way so he can deal with these folks. He needs you to get out of the way, because these people, listen, when you keep going in error and keep going in error and keep going in error, and you're not going to God, repenting and allowing him to do the work in you, you turn wicked. Now you all in wicked land. And so what happens then, that ain't always the case. Again, some people just need to learn some lessons. They need to just grow up. That's why you got to get out of the way. But sometimes when they're in error and they done turned over to wicked, because now you're wicked when you keep going. God gave you all these chances and you just still going with wickedness. And they coming at you, kingdom people. Whoa. Once they start coming at you, it's like, whoa, not my child. What happens is, kingdom people, God is about to destroy them. Whatever that means for them and God. We don't get in that. But the point here, kingdom people, is you have to get out of the way. Listen, I spoke about this in my last video. God brought it right back around to me. Sodom and Gomorrah. How the angels came to Sodom and Gomorrah. Lot invited them to be his guests. Those wicked men, and these were men angels, these wicked men was banging on Lot's door, talking about, let us have the men's in your house so we can rape them. How twisted is that? Men talking about sending them men angels out. Lot sent his daughter out. Anyway, what ended up happening, they was trying to come after Lot. If you read Genesis chapter 19, you can see what I'm speaking of. Some of you already know it, but that's where it's at. Genesis chapter 19. They were trying to come after Lot, barging at his door. The angels locked the door, both locked the door, and caused those men out there, them wicked, crooked men out there, to go blind. Angels then asked Lot, who all do your family, you got some family here, all your family people, you need to get them up out of here. Your sons, your daughter, you need to get them up out of here. And I'm going to read that part, because the whole point here is that God is saying, get out of the way, because it's about to go down. Genesis 19:12 says, meanwhile, the angels questioned Lot, do you have any other relatives here in the city? They asked, get them out of this place, your son-in-law, sons, daughters, or anyone else, for we are about to destroy this city completely. The outcry against this place is so great, it has reached the Lord, and he has sent us to destroy it. Kingdom people, what literally just came to me is one of the thing with some of these ones who are wicked and who are horrible, where you're concerned, let's say they're coming at you, or it's just wickedness around you. You go to God and you pray about it. According to this, it said it has reached the ears of the Lord. It has reached the Lord, and he has sent us to destroy it. So it makes me think of the Psalms when David prays over and over again, like, God, come against my enemies and don't let them. When you praying to God concerning your enemies, he hear you and he gonna destroy them. So in them cases, God is saying get out of the way so he can get them. Now, that's just a side note. That just came to me. But going back to what I was saying, God is saying, just like with Sodom and Gomorrah, he's saying get out of there so they could be dealt with. Again, some of them just need to grow up. Sometimes you got to fall back from people so they can grow up because they just not getting it. They're not maturing. They want to be a victim. They want to cry, have pity parties, and God say move. And if anybody's still around, still trying to help them, that's between them and God. That don't have nothing to do with you because God told you, get out of the way. You don't get out of the way, you're going to catch heck. You know, you're going to catch hell just like them ones. Just like them ones. Psalm 34, 4-6. I prayed to the Lord and he answered me. Wow. He freed me from all my fears. Those who look to him for help will be radiant with joy. No shadow of shame will darken their faces. In my desperation, I pray, and the Lord has tended. Is that what they say? The Lord has heard. The Lord has heard. Something like that, y'all. I don't know what I wrote. But the point here is, like I said, or like Genesis 19:12 says, you pray. You ask God to help you. That's what they need to be doing. Kingdom people. Furthermore, they want to know why you. Why you? Why you? Because that's what you do. You pray. God hears you. He frees you up. He helps you. And it says here in Psalms 34:5, those who look to him for help will be radiant with joy. No shadow of shame will darken their faces. Kingdom people, they see the radiant joy on you, and they're asking, why you? They see how you moving in God. Why you? Because you've gone to God. Again, I will look unto the hills from where my help coming from. And it says here, kingdom people, that no shadow of shame will darken their faces. Listen, kingdom people, real fast. You done walked through some things. You done been through some things. You done been to hell and back in, back again, and back up and all around. And you don't look like nothing that you've been through. Why? Because God is with you. Because you go to him. God is your help. You will look unto the hills from where your help coming from. Kingdom people, and they're asking, why you? And this is why. But they not willing to do that, or some of them just haven't got to that yet. But prayerfully, those ones that need to grow up, they will. The point here, kingdom people, is God is saying, get out of the way. God is saying, get out of the way. Whatever your situation may be, whatever it is for you, whatever is going on, whatever reason God is saying move, God is saying move. He's saying get out of the way. Because he's doing something here. He is about to do something here, and he don't want you nowhere in the vicinity. Because you don't have nothing to do with this. In some instances, you've already done your part. You've done what you're supposed to do. And yes, walking away is a part that you're supposed to do. Now, God is saying, kingdom people, get out of the way. Okay? Okay. So, kingdom people, I am going to let that rest right there. If you like this video and know if it resonates with you, please just go ahead and give it a thumbs up. Also, click on that red subscribe button and subscribe to my channel if you have not already done so. Thank you, kingdom people. Thank you. Then click on that bell right next to that red subscribe button so that you can get a notification every time I upload a new video. Something like this one, kingdom people. Also, if you are interested in any of the services that I presently offer, if you are interested in purchasing any of my merch or any other products, if you are interested in sowing a seed into me or my ministry, and or if you are interested in joining my YouTube membership, you can find all the information down below. Most of it is in the description box. Also, thank you, kingdom people, for being here. I really do appreciate you all. You know I love you all so very much, so very much. And again, I thank you all for being here, spending this time with me. You all know I don't want to leave you, but I do have to go right now. But I will be back to hold my kingdom people down. Now, kingdom people, with that being said, much love, light, and peace, and many blessings to you all. But kingdom people, above all else, let the Holy Spirit lead you in all things at all times. Kingdom people, that is my time. Jesus girl is out. Peace.